Bo Roberts right there, and been working with him for over 2 years now. He was in my last 2 short films. So the budget for this feature film titled Aimless is $350,000. We've been making some progress. It's about the story of a clinical psychologist who gets a new patient suffering from sleep paralysis. And the more she works with them, she starts to unravel and go crazy herself, but they end up finding out who is behind the sleep paralysis attacks. So that's the log line right there. And we've been on the news. We've been pushing this for years now, and I appreciate everyone's help. This takes me to, this is where it gets really interesting, the pineal gland. I learned about this in college and never heard the term until then. And 2, Rene Descartes. I've got to give him credit because I was blown away that he discovered this in the 1600s, that there is a pea-sized brain, a pea-sized pineal gland in your brain. It's right in the middle, right in the middle. And he says it's the seat of the soul. And me going through sleep paralysis, a lot of people might have had out-of-body experiences. You hear about that when someone's getting operated on. And so this kind of goes with I think, therefore I am. So we are just thoughts in a pineal gland. So when we sleep, there is a separation from our spirit, from our temple. And what happens is you wake up and your spirit is not back into the pineal gland. So for him to discover this back with no technology, I'm sure you guys heard his name before. What a great philosopher. I read a lot of philosophy things, so I have no idea how he came to that conclusion, but unbelievable. And the pineal gland releases something called DMT. DMT, some of you might have heard of that, but it's kind of a hallucinogen. This chemical is shown probably 3 times in your life. When you're born, when you die, and when you sleep. Those 3 times. So that lets you know there's something going on. When you die, there's a chemical release of DMT. When you're born, there's a chemical release, and then when you sleep. So this is kind of proof to me that this is the spirit molecule that they call it. We are spirit molecules that are thoughts within a temple. Hope I'm not losing you guys. So moving on. We created a sleep process podcast. My host is out in the UK. She's a doctor. She's a sleep process expert. So we're on episode 20, and we're inviting other sleep doctors and other sleep process people from all over the world on this show. So we are just galvanizing everybody. And for this film, we're already going to have an audience. That's what they say. Try to build your audience so you don't have to, get it after your film's done. So we already have an audience that's growing, that's waiting. We can't wait for this sleep process film to come out so that people can know that this is real. It's very isolated because you don't want to tell anybody. So I would have never known if I didn't go to college. I would have kept it to myself. There's some creepy stuff going on here. So moving right along, the distribution for the Aimless film. Of course, I want foreign and domestic distribution, but I always have backup plans. What if? Let's answer those questions. What if I don't get distribution? Well, we already have a self-distribution plan within Ohio. 3 C's, Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland. So we've networked with them. We've got a deal with Lennox already. And we've got relationships with Drexel, Studio 35, Grandview Theater, and the list goes on. So I feel like I'm making the right decision staying in Ohio because the support is unbelievable and I appreciate it. So we've got our plan right there. Hopefully that comes through. So the funds raised, guys, we were awarded the Ohio Film Tax Credit, which is a complete blessing. We were actually not awarded, and then 2 weeks went by. They called us and said, project dropped out and you're next in line to receive it. So if you're looking at Columbus Dispatch, which I still got, I'm last on the list. I got in. That was number 1, Superman. Superman came here, took our tax credit money, and left. So the point of it is to build the film economy here and not use us because it's so much more competitive in LA. They said, let's prey on Ohio. So where's the Ohio filmmakers out to make sure that we get the money here? Because the point is for us not to have to move to LA or Atlanta or New York to make a living if you're in the film industry. And that's the problem. It takes talent to retain talent, and I'm trying to keep it here. And so we got to stop letting that happen. And they're working on getting more funding and bumping up the percentage. But we also got the Columbus Film Incentive. It just started this year in October. Only 2 projects got it, like over 100 projects submitted. So I was on the news for this. I've been on the news like 4 or 5 times already. Me and the other project were on, Good Day Columbus. We have a City of Hilliard grant for $25,000. Thank you so much. And then, some loans and credit cards and investors are coming in. So we are making progress. So all this money, the thing is, we don't get it until after the film is done shooting. So I gotta make that clear, because everyone's like, you got that much money, what's the problem? Go do it. We're still raising funds to actually shoot the film in production, but this is better security. So, another pitch is, well, what if you don't get film distribution, or how are you gonna fill up the theaters to get your money back? So now, if you tally this up, it's like $140,000 that we have coming our way by the state government. So we can leverage that to say, hey, you can get your money back from this, and you don't have to necessarily worry about theatrical performance or distribution. As soon as we complete it, turn everything in, we got money coming in, and that is a little bit of how to mitigate risk to people who want to get involved. So I truly hope that you guys do want to get involved any way that you can show support. So why Columbus? Why Hilliard? Why Mansfield? I was at the Columbus Metropolitan Club not too long ago. I go quite often, and the topic was the performance arts in Ohio. And so the panelists were saying that they went to different cities looking at the arts there, and they realized that the cities that have the best economies are the cities that encourage the arts. They have museums, they have ballet, they have opera, they have singing, they have movies. And so those are the cities that are booming. So the problem is when, it's time to cut back funds, guess what's the first to go? The arts, right? So we got to support the arts. So I'm glad that, the Next University Club is at the Mansfield Arts. We got to do that to keep things alive and give it attention. And it's a way to build culture. It's a way to build tourism and build a community together, sharing ideas, transferring wealth to each other. We got to come together, and I think the arts is a way to do that. So we got, we'll be shooting in Columbus and Hilliard and Mansfield, and we've got cast and crew. We're working with the best. We appreciate the supporters, and Mansfield has a huge film history, as you guys know. Bob invited me to the Shawshank Redemption reunion, the 30th one not too long ago, and I went to that. But just seeing all the other films here, I appreciate it, guys. From Gary Jones, thank you. Bob, everything that you guys are doing out here, you guys are really showing us that you guys might be a bigger film city than Columbus, because Cincinnati and Cleveland are bigger film cities than Columbus. So we're just trying to play catch up here. And I don't know who came up with this number, but I believe it. They said that, Ohio is, more than 5 years behind Atlanta and LA when it comes to their film economy. So we're playing catch up over here, but we're extremely talented. And I think we're going to see that here moving forward. I've completed 7 short films so far. And that's my experience. I've just been pushing for years now. After I went to Ohio Media School, TJ Cooley usually comes here. I wish he was here, but he was my instructor at Ohio Media School, and he was very intense, and I appreciate him. So he really brought out all these short films, starting with the first one, Detention, and then this next one is my latest short film. And it did pretty good. I've been in the winter film competition for 4 years now in a row. My first year I had 4 nominations. My next year I had 7. And now I've had 11 nominations back to back. And this latest project, was pretty impressive. It was actually one of the top 10 greatest days of my life to, sweep it with 8 awards. We've won Audience Choice 2 years in a row. So when you say you won Audience Choice, people might say, well, you just had a bigger crowd, so to win Best Picture and Audience of Choice means the world to me. It was the momentum that we needed for my team to keep going, letting us know that our dream is real. And so what a huge momentum that led me to be on TV today. I had an interview on NBC4 because of this. So I appreciate it. Best film. And that's Bo Roberts. He couldn't make it. He's got an event. But yeah, we're surrounding around Bo 2 years in a row. He's bringing home awards each time for us. A pleasure to work with, and we're going to keep it going. So that's just some of the nominations there.
Kaylin, the director, right?
Yep, Kaylin Allshouse. I worked with her for over 3 years. So my team's pretty much been the same for over 3 years now. We absolutely love each other. We make each other better. And it shows in our growth that, each project is getting more accolades. So some strategic partners that are with us so far: Accelerating Angels, Cindy Inglefield. If you don't know the name, please look it up. I appreciate her so much. Ohio Media School. That's where we filmed, The Weatherman. Some scenes there. Gateway Film Center, Drexel Theater, Lenox Theater, Ohio Arts Council. From the Heart Productions is our fiscal sponsor out of California. So however people want to donate or get involved, you can go through a nonprofit. The Greater Columbus Arts Council, we just applied for a $20,000 grant. We'll be finding out here in a couple weeks if we got it or not. I'm moving on as if I'm not, so I'm not disappointed, but boy, oh boy, that will really catapult us. CCAD is an art school. Thank you, Braintree Business Development Center, for all you guys do. The City of Hilliard, Columbus Film Commission. So we're just going to keep on piling up, the strategic partnerships. Again, proving that me staying in Ohio is, the right choice. I would get lost in LA or Atlanta, New York. I'd compete. There's no way I could get on TV 6 times somewhere else. So I feel like this city loves me and I love them. So we're going to keep it going, like I said. So there's some media appearances. That's the project I was talking about for the new Columbus incentive. So they brought us on to talk about our projects. I was on before that same show, another one. Shout out to Kelby King. Thank you for her projects. And she brought me on board as well. Great interview. I still talk to her through LinkedIn. Absolutely love her. Again, thank you, Mansfield. So I keep on getting on TV. We're pushing. We got marketers, and we're building our momentum. She had Bo Roberts sitting down with Kelby King, so please check that out before it gets pushed down. If you go to the website, there's like mini interviews, so you might not be able to find it if you don't, hurry up and watch it. So that's Kelby King supporting us again. There's Bo, Best Actor, back-to-back years. Okay, so there's our winter film celebration there. I got this right here. Yes, I'm very humbly proud. I had to bring it with me. So it took me like 4+ years. I've been in the film industry since I was a teenager, but I've been in winter film for 4 years. So it took me 4 years to get that. So I might be, not letting that go anytime soon. It's me and Bo. That might have been at a university club meeting. So at that point, who would have known we would have been working together again. There's Kaylin Allshouse. She's a writer, director. I like to say that she's like Tina Fey. She's gonna be better than Tina Fey one day. I keep telling her that, and she's showing it. So we kind of just had a little showboat moment right there, holding all 8 of our trophies. And that's Bo accepting his award. It was really funny. That's Bo from last year. So again, we won Audience Choice Award 2 years in a row. So I like to think that we know the formula to get people to come and vote and say, I like that, and share with other people. There's no better marketing than word of mouth. So when I do my projects, I think to myself, is someone going to say, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. When you watch something like that, and then you watch something and you gotta tell a friend, like, hey, you gotta watch this. That's how you know something's good. So if we don't meet that criteria, then it's not good enough for me. The project's not good enough. So we have high criteria, and you can market all you want, but second week, the box office is going to show. It's going to show in the box office. All your marketing, showed out, and the first weekend was really good, and then word of mouth was really not that good. And it shows the second week. So you can't trick people for that long. So the best way to do this is marketing word of mouth and really put out a legit product. And that is our goal.